Guns have been around since 1364. In the U.S., there are at least 270 million to 310 million legal guns. Around 22% of all guns have been sold without a background check as of January 3, 2017. Established the Second Amendment on December 15, 1791. The Second Amendment was established so a well-regulated militia would be able to protect the country from invasions and protect themselves from tyranny and the government. The Second Amendment fits conflict and compromise because the conflict is that guns can fall into the wrong hands of people and potentially kill people. The compromise is that the government gave guns to the people through the Second Amendment to protect themselves. The third President of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, stated that the strongest reason for people to keep and bear arms is the last resort to protect themselves against tyranny and the government.
According to Gun Violence Archive, the total number of incidents in 2017 was 61,359 incidents involving guns. This includes 15,555 deaths and 31,159 injuries. 732 kids from the age of 0 to 11 years old were killed or injured using a gun. The number increases to 3,234 kids aged 12 to 17 years old. In 2017, 345 mass shootings took place in America. Gun Violence Archive defines a mass shooting as 4 or more people being killed or injured. 317 officers were shot or killed in 2017, and 2,077 people were shot or killed by an officer. 2,503 houses have been invaded in 2017. There were 2,018 unintentional shootings in 2017. What we've listed so far have been incidents where guns have been harmful, but 2,032 people resulted to withdrawing firearms for self-defense, which brings us to our next point.
Some of the pros of having the Second Amendment are decreased chances of criminal attacks. Studies show that 55% of the time criminals retreat when a person has a firearm. Another pro of having the Second Amendment is that it reduces crime. In 1998, John Lott with a PhD said that there's an 8.5% reduction in homicides, 7% less aggravated assaults, 5% less rape, and 3% less robberies because citizens have the right to bear arms. Another pro of having the Second Amendment is safety. Most people feel safer with a gun in their possession, especially in neighborhoods known for crime. The Second Amendment isn't all that good, though. Some of the cons of the Second Amendment is that from January 1st to October 1st in 2017, there have been 273 shootings in America. Gun Violence Archive defines a mass shooting as a gunman shooting or killing 4 or more people in the same general location and time. Another con of the Second Amendment is that the biggest and most recent shooting was in Las Vegas, Nevada, that resulted with around 58 people dead and 500 and more wounded. Another con of the Second Amendment is that it increased suicide rates. In 2005, 53% of all suicides in the USA happened with a gun. This is just a clip of Obama expressing his opinion on the Second Amendment.
Town hall meeting in Elkhart, Indiana. After the broadcast, the president continued to take questions from the audience. Gun shop owner Doug Rudy challenged the president's record on gun control.
Knowing that we apply common sense to other issues in our society, specifically like holding irresponsible people accountable for their actions when they drink and drive and kill somebody, and we do that without restricting control of cars and cell phones to the rest of us, the good guys, why then do you and Hillary want to control and restrict and limit gun manufacturers, gun owners, and the responsible use of guns and ammunition to the rest of us, the good guys, instead of holding the bad guys accountable for their actions?
And first of all, the notion that I or Hillary or Democrats or whoever you want to choose are hell-bent on taking away folks' guns is just not true. And I don't care how many times the NRA says it. I'm about to leave office. There have been more guns sold since I've been president than just about any time in U.S. history. there are enough guns for every man, woman, and child in this country. And at no point have I ever proposed confiscating guns from responsible gun owners. So it's just not true. What I have said is precisely what you suggested, which is, why don't we treat this like every other thing that we use? I just came from a meeting today in the Situation Room in which I've got people who we know have been on ISIL websites, living here in the United States, U.S. citizens, and we're allowed to put them on the no-fly list when it comes to airlines. But because of the National Rifle Association, I cannot prohibit those people from buying a gun. This is somebody who is a known ISIL sympathizer, and if he wants to walk in to a gun store or a gun show right now and buy as many weapons as ammo as he can, nothing's prohibiting him from doing that, even though the FBI knows who that person is. So, sir, I just have to say respectfully that there is a way for us to have common sense gun laws. There is a way for us to make sure that lawful, responsible gun owners like yourself are able to use it for sporting, hunting, protecting yourself. But the only way we're going to do that is if we don't have a situation in which anything that is proposed is viewed as some tyrannical destruction of the Second Amendment. And that's how the issue too often gets framed.
The Second Amendment can be both good or bad depending on the way you look at it. If you look at it negatively, you might think guns are deadly, but in reality, it's just the person using the gun. If you look at it positively, you would think my life could be saved by a gun. The money badgers think that we should keep the Second Amendment because if we take the Second Amendment away, people are still going to be able to get guns illegally. Since the Second Amendment would be gone, we would be hopeless against people with illegal firearms. Many people have different thoughts depending on the encounters they've witnessed. Keeping the Second Amendment is just our side on the topic. What's yours?